Welcome to Launceston. Would you believe it is the third oldest city in Australia, famed for the Cataract Gorge, stunning architecture and amazing views.
The Launceston Football Club is over 150 years old. They've been one of the most successful clubs in Tasmania, and now they're forging a new path in women's football.
Slice the oranges, rub in the deep heat, and strap yourself in for a great sports story. Welcome to 1 week at a time.
In terms of the history of the club, when was it founded and how successful has it been over the journey?
So the club was formed in 1875, so we're actually approaching our 150th year celebration. We're the oldest club in Tasmania, so it does have a rich history. You know, dating back to the 30s, they were probably the most successful team throughout that period. Leo McCauley was, a multiple premiership player and captain coach of the footy club, and probably our most recognisable name at the club, hence why our best and fairest is named after Leo.
Talk about the pathway of development as well, and the type of talent you've seen come through the club. It's been pretty successful across obviously men's and also women's now.
The club really probably changed direction probably 20 years ago when they recruited an ex-North Launceston player, Adam Sanders, and his little offsider, Anthony Taylor, to the footy club. And that really changed the direction and the professionalism of the place. From that, we actually, our success started, not only as a team success where we won flags, but then we started to get people recognised, and that really flowed from our juniors all the way through to our seniors. So then we had that proper pathway, that kids playing junior footy knew where they wanted to play and they had something to aspire to. And from that, we've been very successful, not only, winning premierships, but also getting players drafted over that last 20 years.
Scotty, we saw inside there was 8 female players have been drafted from Launceston in such a short space of time. Talk us through the female program and success of that team over the last few years.
Well, Lonnie was probably one of the first teams to go down the women's path. It's probably around about 15 or 16 years old now, that program. So we've probably had a little bit of a head start on some of the other clubs that have formed those women's teams a little bit later. They've played in numerous competitions, whatever was available within Tasmania, whilst that women's program was still growing. But having that pathway again and that opportunity for women to come to our club, like I said, gave us a bit of a foot in the door for those girls to get drafted. Unfortunately, the state league for the girls isn't around at the moment, and we've had many successful periods where the girls have won premierships, but unfortunately, like I said, from that, they now form a local league, which is great, and it keeps all the girls local, but there's a point system where all our girls unfortunately had to dilute a little bit, so we've lost quite a few to other clubs, but that's only strengthened the league because those girls that have been within our club and that program for that length of time, can take their skills and their knowledge and put it within their new clubs, which is only going to make the competition stronger. And as women's footy continues to grow, not only at senior level, but now at junior level, that comp's going to get stronger and stronger as the years go on.
My name's Hayley White and I play halfback for the Launceston Women's Football Club.
You were obviously very keen to play from the get-go. You had to sign a waiver to be able to play. Do you want to tell us that story?
Yeah, so I was 14 turning 15 and I think back then you had to be 16 to play football, and my parents spoke to AFL Tas at the time and they're like, well, if you sign a waiver, if she gets injured, she's not really covered. And they were happy to do that. So
that's a big thing, isn't it? Just sign away?
Yeah.
Do you remember have many memories of your first game?
We played Clarence in my first game, and they dominated the women's space for a lot of years, and they did for a lot of years after that, and they were big, tough, a lot older than what I was, so I got picked on a little bit being the new kid on the block.
You're a 4-time premiership player, essentially. What was it like winning the first one?
The first one's pretty surreal, I guess. It doesn't really sink in once you've won it until a couple of days after, until it's over. But yeah, it was pretty unreal. Being the age that I was 18, 19.
Now talk us about the team in Lonnie and how they came to be successful and how that sort of evolved over time. Did you sort of come to that similar period of time in 2016-17 when you started to get a really good core together and started to be really successful?
We were the only team in the north. So the junior clubs, they had nowhere else to play senior football. So we got a really good group of girls coming through Lonnie all the time. And then we got a couple of girls drafted, and then that just attracted more players as the years went on. There's a lot of girls that come over from other sports that want to play, and a lot of other teams have netballers and, you know, a couple of hockey players here and there. But yeah, back then, no one was really interested in football because women's footy wasn't really supported. So
when did it start to get a bit of momentum and you felt like that women's footy really started to sort of take off?
I think probably 2016-17 where they had the AFL exhibition matches between Bulldogs and Melbourne. And then that's when girls are like, AFLW is going to happen, it's going to be a pathway, and that's when it really took off.
Do you want to tell us a little bit about like off the field? Like I can envisage there would have been a lot of like fundraising efforts, you know, to do the travelling. What kind of things have you guys done off the field?
Yeah, so we actually used to work at AgFest every year, just in a food van, just to raise money for the women's team. And we did a couple of other things like raffles and stuff, but yeah, AgFest was the thing that stood out for me that we used to do every year. It's at Carrick now every year, so you go out and there's just, you know, tractors and stuff out there. So we ran a food van for the 3 days it was on.
What's it like being a teammate and seeing your teammates make it all the way to the top level like AFLW? And second to that, what clubs are they playing for now?
So I was lucky enough to play with all the girls that have been drafted from Launceston. So current players in AFLW, you've got Brooke Brown and Daria Bannister. They're both at Essendon. Mia King's at North Melbourne. Maddie Brasendale's at GWS. Seeing them progress and get drafted, and, you know, even watching it and watching the reactions is unbelievable. Daria especially, she always had that natural football ability, and yeah, her resilience to bounce back from all of her injuries just to get up every season, and it's like, I'm going to be bigger and better next year.
You've made a pretty big impact on this footy club. You've played first player to 150 games, played 151 games. You've got a trophy named after you. What do you hope for the future for yourself and the footy club?
We've got a few girls in the Devils program, and that's their aspiration. So we're helping them where we can. So I've been helping out the junior club for a while because there was that bit of a gap between the juniors and us as a women's side. So I wanted to close that, and so we could keep players filtering through. I love being a part of the club, and I think we're moving in the right direction to really be united and have that one club feel.
We hope you enjoyed the Launceston Football Club story, brought to you by Aussie Broadband's Helping Communities Connect program.
An easy way to save money for your club with a discounted internet connection on Aussie's award-winning network and access to other fundraising opportunities.
You can apply on behalf of your organisation by searching Helping Communities Connect on the Aussie Broadband website and sign up online. Or you can give the Aussie-based team a call.
Hopefully, we'll be telling your club story soon.